Last week we kind of spoke about the incident with OBJ and the Browns. Essentially, since Odell Beckham Jr. got to Cleveland, there just hasn't been any chemistry with between himself and Baker. And in Spurs, the team has actually played well without Odell. And on Thursday last week, the Browns decided to part ways with the wide receiver after his dad posted some videos of Baker either not passing to Odell or missing the target when Odell was open. And as of today, actually, Odell has cleared waivers and is now officially a free agent and can sign wherever he pleases. So my question to you here, Jen, is where is Odell going to land, or where's going to be that best spot for him to go to?
I mean, just judging from everything that is being seen out there, I think the best place for him to go would be the Green Bay Packers. I know that Brendan's going to disagree with me because he thinks the Patriots would be always the way to go, but like you already got a dysfunctional quarterback over there. You add Odell, perfect match. At this point, and also they need a number one wide receiver besides Devontae Adams. Obviously, I don't hope he goes to the Green Bay Packers because obviously, come playoff time, that's going to be something crucial. I hope he joins the team something like the Patriots, where he can, essentially get his careers die there, along with all the dirty tactics that Bill has taught his players. Especially after what Mac Jones did um, to Burns on Sunday. With that dirty tackle, purposely trying to twist the necks. I mean, I'll be surprised if Mac Jones isn't out the next week with 40 concussions from all the hits that he's going to take from the Browns, and he's playing Miles Garrett, and that guy's going to have a grudge against him.
Mm, Brandon, uh, Patriots, or are you thinking elsewhere for OBJ?
First of all, I'd like to say that Mac Jones needs to watch out for Miles Garrett's swinging helmets. Uh, Speaking of dirty tactics,
Hey, as long as Mac Jones doesn't call him the N word, like what Mason Rudolph did, then he's not going to swing the helmets. But then again, we never know.
yeah. Either way, that's a tough D to play against. But yeah, hopefully there's no swinging helmets that game. Mac Jones has been doing well, so I'd like to see that stay. And before agree that Odell should go to the Patriots, I don't know if this is where he will land. And by the Twitter universe, it seems like that may not be the case, but I am just full on manifesting this into the world by saying, OBJ, come to the Patriots, please. Last week, you gave me 5 seconds, which turned into 5 minutes explaining what the Patriots need at the deadline. The number one highlight was a true number one receiver. And we could get just that in OBJ because he is better than the ones we have. Um, he might not be, top two receiver in the NFL, but he can be a number one in a good system. So I would like to see him come here. Hopefully, no one bids more than the vet minimum because our cap is pretty tight. Uh, but we know he loves Bill Belichick. OBJ, now is your chance. You are a free man. You can pick wherever you want to go, and Bill Belichick is asking for you. So take the opportunity, go play with the Patriots. But that team's heating up. A number one wide receiver would be just the thing that they need to make a serious run to make the playoffs this year. So OBJ, come to the Patriots.
Not if they don't have a starting quarterback after Miles Garrett plows through Mac Jones with 40 different sacks and 40 fumbles. You know for a fact that Miles Garrett is gonna try his best to rip his head off.
I don't know if you saw the play. There was a play against the Chargers where somebody ran to hit him after the whistle, and the entire O line was just ready to throw down. So I think he's decently respected in the locker room and decently protected by the O line that they wouldn't just like close their hands and wait for Miles Garrett to do his thing. I think they're going to put up a fight. I think they're aware of the situation. And I think they've got his back. So I don't think he's going to get injured. I don't think he makes this dirty play. He's certainly not the only player in the NFL who's ever made a dirty play. So I don't know why this one is being highlighted as much as the other dirty ones that go unnoticed. Um, but I think he'll be fine. Um, they are poised to potentially win that game too.
Hmm. And actually, there's one other spot that you guys didn't really touch on, that I've been seeing and hearing a lot about, in terms of OBJ's landing spots, and that's the Saints. So, Brennan, do you mind kind of walking me through how you see that fit working out if he does end up with the Saints?
It's another spot where he'd be a number one receiver. Obviously, with Michael Thomas out for the year with his ankle, he'd have a chance to step in and be that number one receiver. But in terms of who he'd be playing with, um, he wants to play with a good quarterback, which is why the Packers are a favorite. I think the Chiefs are also thrown in the mix. So him going to those places would give that wish of being with an elite quarterback, obviously, Aaron Rodgers or Patrick Mahomes. That being said, he wouldn't be a number one in those situations. So if his issue was targets in Cleveland, he's going to have the same issue in Green Bay because he's not taking targets from Devontae Adams. That's not happening. And he's not taking targets from Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill. He's not going to come in there and all of a sudden be the number one over Tyreek, Travis Kelce, or Devontae Adams. So I think the reason that we're having this conversation today and the reason we're not discussing why he chose a landing spot is I think those exact things. He's trying to balance. Do I make the decision of going to play with a solid quarterback and making a Super Bowl run? Or do I still want to be that number one guy and redeem myself? Because if he plays in a situation like the Saints or the Patriots, but if you're going to the Saints, you might as well come to the Patriots because our quarterback is better. Um, then he'd be that number one. But if he goes to the other ones, he's potentially fighting for a Super Bowl, but he has to adjust to the fact that he's not going to get those targets. So I think it just depends on what he wants. Obviously, he's in no rush to make this decision because he was released on Monday and he is still it's Wednesday night when we're recording this, and he hasn't made a decision yet. So I mean, similar to the Patriots, except their quarterback is not as good as ours. So that's why I don't think so. But who knows?
Yeah, I guess we'll find out soon enough from OBJ where he's going to continue at least continue his career for the near future.